check in with Paul. And Paul, I think you had a chance to go visit Alcatraz this past summer. I mean, it's a fascinating tourist attraction. I don't even call it a tourist attraction. It's a piece of history.
It is a piece of history, but it obviously does a lot of tourist traffic as well. Pretty much every time somebody from out of town comes to town, it's one of the things they want to see. And it's, now 5 decades as a park after all of that history beforehand. It's going to be shrouded by fog as we head through the rest of tonight. We got some big changes that are going to kick in the forecast over the next about 24 hours or so, courtesy of a storm system. It's going to be dropping into the Pacific Northwest with most of its energy and most of its moisture. So we're not going to see much of a rain chance, but we are going to experience a big drop in temperatures from today to tomorrow. And another wave of cool air is going to follow that up for the end of the work week and as we head into the weekend. You'll notice a change in the amount of cloud cover, and that's going to put a dent in the amount of solar power generated by the panels across the Bay Area. Significant drop in that number on Wednesday, but you see all the numbers go back up on Thursday, indicating a return of full sunshine for the roughly 11 hours of daylight that we can possibly get sunshine as we approach the end of October. Let's check out Futurecast, and you can see the clouds starting to float in as we head through the day tomorrow. So more clouds and sunshine by tomorrow afternoon, but the rain just kind of falls apart. There are other forecast models that are a little more optimistic in terms of the amount of shower activity that could make its way into the Bay Area. Not buying into that scenario. I think we're probably going to see a few sprinkles in the North Bay. Otherwise, we should stay dry with the system moving through. It just doesn't have access to that much moisture. The clouds move out tomorrow night into Thursday. We should see plenty of sunshine. And then the next wave of cool air is going to send some cloud cover into the Bay Area on Friday. But I don't think it's going to be overcast, just a mix of clouds and sunshine as we finish off the work week. It's not going to be a rainmaker for the Bay Area, but it's going to be just a little bit of a snowmaker for the High Sierra. Not a significant event. We're talking about an inch or two of snow, not even enough to complicate travel on US 50 or I-80, but just the beginnings of those snow chances that hopefully will continue to ramp up as we head through the next few months. Looking towards downtown from Treasure Island, there's the fog beginning to swallow up Salesforce Tower. The temperature downtown reflects the marine layer. It's only 61 degrees, and it's only 64 across the bay in Oakland. It's the inland temperatures that are really going to be affected by this wave of cool air. You're in the upper 70s right now in Concord and Livermore and San Jose. You're going to struggle to get up to around 70 degrees for highs tomorrow after we start off pretty close to normal. Low to mid 50s on the map by early tomorrow morning. Some of the coolest spots in the North Bay valleys dipping down into the upper 40s. We just don't warm up too far from there. Take a look at the forecast highs for tomorrow. Only up to around 70 degrees in San Jose, up to around 80 degrees today, falling short of actually hitting 70 degrees around Los Gatos. Temperatures inland in the East Bay, also upper 60s to around 70 degrees. Normal highs there around 75 or 76. You're going to be about a half dozen degrees below average. It's not going to be as noticeable around the bay or along the coast. Still in the upper half of the 60s in both San Francisco and in Oakland. Temperatures in the North Bay also on the cool side, mostly topping out just in the upper 60s. You're going to have the thicker cloud cover overhead north of the Golden Gate, and you also have that best chance of a few sprinkles, maybe a light shower, but that is a huge maybe. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast and how long this cool air is going to stick around. And the answer is, well, a while, because we reinforce the cool air as Friday arrives. Temperatures dipping down into the mid to upper 60s, even inland. By Friday and Saturday, there's really not going to be much of a difference between high temperatures far inland or around the bay and along the coast. We should gradually return to closer to normal temperatures as we head into early next week. So Tuesday, which is Halloween, is looking good for the trick-or-treaters. There is a chance of showers next week. It's likely going to hold off until Wednesday into Wednesday night, so I don't think you need to worry about wet costumes or anything like that as they're heading out on their annual sugar run. And of course, temperatures along the coast are going to be a little cooler, even dipping down into the upper 50s on Friday, but then back into the middle portion of the 60s as we finish off the month of October, Monday and Tuesday. Right?